All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. Today, we're really excited to be with you guys. We are back in the studio. This is really awesome to be back here instead of traveling. I do love traveling, but doing podcasts on the road can get tricky. And we've actually got a new soundboard, which is really exciting. We're using the Rodecaster, which is awesome. It's got some really new features. The sound quality is better. I can do some manipulation while we're doing the podcast. And then we've even got new mics coming. So these are great mics, but we've even got new mics coming. And we're just improving everything because we love spending time with you guys. And so we're going to use a new feature of our new board. Let's get started. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're really excited to be with you guys today. So today's podcast, we're going to be talking about you can't help everyone. What do you mean I can't help everyone? Well, you can't help everyone in business. You probably think, well, I know I can't help everybody. I'm not trying to help everybody, Trevor, but let me explain. As an entrepreneur, we're always trying to help everyone by helping ourselves, getting more business. We're always trying to sell everybody. We're always trying to service everybody because as entrepreneurs, we never want to miss out on a deal, right? I mean,
absolutely.
You never want to miss out on a deal. We're always like going, oh, how can I make this work? Or, what can I change? Or, and we're always trying to manipulate, honestly, what we're doing. And it really gets in the way. And it's always because you get these, people every once in a while that come along that just make things hard. You can't help everybody, but we always want to for that almighty dollar, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some qualifiers that you guys should be utilizing in your business to make sure that you're weeding out the people that maybe you shouldn't be doing business with or that are taking up all your time, energy, and efforts. So Troy, why don't we just jump right in and go into some of those qualifiers?
All right. So here's, again, a couple of qualifiers that you can utilize to, make sure that you're getting the right customers, and you're weeding out the ones that are really going to cause problems down the road.
Yes.
So one of the first qualifiers is doing a consultation.
Yeah.
And you're probably like, well, what? What do you mean doing a consultation? Like actually doing a consultation with your client so that you can talk to them and make sure, do they fit your ideal customer?
Right.
I think that's really important is making sure that you know what your ideal customer is, and what they want and how you're going to service them, right? You've created a whole system around that. And do these people fit into that? Because if they don't fit into it, then you're going to probably have some problems.
Yeah.
So
because what are they going to want to do? They want to change some things, right?
Exactly.
We'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. So how do you determine that? And do you just take anyone that will pay you money? Right? And I can't tell you how many times we've had somebody be like, oh my gosh, man, I absolutely love your system, but I just needed to do this, and this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just needed to do, like, basically replace 5 different softwares that I'm currently paying for.
Yeah.
But have it be your system, for that price.
At a quarter of the price of all those other 5 systems.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, is that my ideal customer? Absolutely not.
You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do when these people come to me? This is what I want to do. I want to laugh at him. I want to laugh at him and say, are you kidding me? Come on.
Exactly. So that would not be the ideal customer, right?
No.
So you do that consultation, you make sure you know who your customer is, and then do they fit into that?
Yep.
The next one is something you want to talk about, right from the get-go, is pricing.
Yeah.
And, you want to make sure that they can afford your services.
Yes.
And this is really important because I can't tell you how many times, this happens to us all the time.
All the time.
And I've, again, all the time this happens where we'll, start talking with somebody, we'll do some consulting with them, we start talking about all the stuff they want. They start asking questions about, well, I want to do this. And what do you think about this part of my business plan? And, they're basically just like gleaning information out of us. And then when it actually comes down after spending all that time helping them to price, they're like, oh,
yeah.
Well, I can't afford that.
It's funny because people don't want to give pricing up front. Yeah. I have no problem doing that. That's fine. Giving pricing up front will weed out the people that can't afford it anyways. Because that's the biggest problem. When Troy says we get this all the time, literally we do. We have people come in and meet with us honestly on a weekly basis. And they're wanting to either grow their business, double their business, triple their business. And the funny thing about it is most of the time, 90% of the time, we turn these people away. We either give them free things that they can do to double and triple their business on their own, or they don't have the income to utilize our services. So 90% of these people we're going to turn away. And the reason for that is we have the luxury of turning people away and being picky and choosing who we do business with, because we've been in business for 20 years now, and we have thousands of clients in multiple countries across the world. And it's a really great place to be if you're not there yet, because I remember when we did take every single thing that came in the door. Trust me, we took every single thing that came in the door, and we bent over backwards, and we changed everything we did, and we programmed everything that they wanted. And it was
lost money.
And we lost money. We lost money, but we never viewed it as that. We always viewed it as like, wow, they're paying this, but what we spent to keep that client or give them what they wanted, we actually ended up losing money on that customer. And a lot of times these hard customers, they're not worth it or loyal anyways.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. So talking about price up front can be a really good thing.
Yeah.
To weed them out and to save yourself a ton of time, because again, you might be doing tons of different work or research or whatever it might be to land that, that deal with them. And then it comes down to pricing and you realize that they're not going to pay it anyways. Or the other thing you have to watch out for is, are they asking for discounts up front with promises of volume down the road?
Yes.
And we get that all the time too, where it's like, oh yeah, but I mean, like here at the beginning, I just need a really good price. But when we're cranking, you're going to be making a ton of money off me.
Oh yeah. And let me tell you a story about that. So this has happened to us a couple of times over the years, about 4. It's happened 4 times over the years, and it never works out. And we always get these people coming to us and they say, hey, I want to partner with you.
Oh, yes.
I want to partner with you. You guys do all of your side of it. I'm going to fulfill on my side, and then I'm going to pay you a percentage. And it never ends up working out. I always tell people, I say, listen, I would rather you just come in and spend 10 grand a month with me. Okay, you're gonna spend $120,000 a year, and that is going to save you a ton of money, and you're gonna get awesome results. But they always are like, no, because they don't want to spend the 10 grand up front, right? They want like me to do all the work on my back, and then they're gonna give me a percentage. So the last guy that we did this with was a home remodel company, and they had a really cool business model, and it worked really well. In fact, it worked too well that they got overwhelmed. They couldn't keep people on staff. They couldn't get the jobs done, and they ended up, messing the whole business up. But here's the thing is, I told them, I said, just come in and spend 10 grand a month with us. If you're talking the numbers you're talking, there's no problem with you spending $10,000 a month. And very quickly, you are just going to be super profitable. And he's like, no, I want to partner up with you guys. And so he gave us a percentage. Well, exactly what I told him was going to happen happened. Within a few months, our monthly check was $100 grand, $100 grand. And he was all of a sudden, and it fell apart, obviously. And the guy couldn't, like I said, he couldn't fulfill on the jobs because he couldn't keep up with it. And it was awesome. And since then, we've had multiple people come to us and say, this is what I'm going to do. And no, I would never do that to you guys. And yeah, just like the last guy said, and the guy before him, and the guy before him. So it's funny. People come to you with these promises that they're just going to explode, and they're going to give you all this money, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be mutually beneficial. And you know what? 95% of the time or more, in our case, 99% of the time, 100% of the time, it's not going to work.
Yeah. So be very cautious if they're asking for discounts up front. On your services with promises of a bunch of money down the road.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing is interest. How soon do they want to start using your services? This is a question you need to ask right up front. Are they ready to buy now, or are they just kicking the tires? Because again, we've had this happen before. It's like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm ready to go. We go through everything, negotiations, pricing, everything. And it's like, okay, great. Let's get that first check.
Yeah. And then like, you know what happens? Crickets.
That's exactly
Where's
what happens.
the check, baby?
And it's like, well, I'm not ready to start yet. Well, then why did we just spend the last month going through all of this negotiation, writing the contract, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
So make sure they're ready to go. Their interest is right there, and they're ready to go right away. Preparation is the next one. And I'm not just talking about preparation on your side. I'm talking about, are they prepared to start on their side?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If they're not prepared to start right now, then you don't need to spend the time on them, until they are prepared to start.
Yeah, because then they're just tire kickers. And I have a good friend that we do marketing for and help him out in his business and consult for his business. And he gets this all the time. He gets people who are just kicking tires. They want quotes. They want to get estimates. They want him to come into the house. They want him to look at it and draw it up and do all this stuff for him. and they're just out there kicking tires. Oh, when it comes down to it, he's like, hey, let's put a deposit down on this. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm 3 months at least out on this. I mean, at least I'm just still getting numbers right now. And it's like, he is so busy. He's already 3 to 4 weeks out anyways. So people like that, he doesn't even need that business. So he needs to weed them out from the get-go.
Exactly. Because think about how much time he would waste designing everything up, finding the materials for their project, driving out to look at it, and they're not even ready to go.
Exactly.
So, okay, the next one, special requests. And we kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but man, this one just drives me crazy. So are they taking your service as is, or are they wanting you to change your service to meet their needs? So that's a big one. You get people that do that. We get people that do that all the time. Man, I want this, but I want you to do this and tweak this and do this, and I want it to do this, right? Yeah. And you have to ask yourself, what is it going to cost you in time and money to basically break your automated systems to meet their needs? I mean, because that's the thing. That's what you're doing. Hopefully, if by listening to our podcast, you have an automated system in place, where that you're working on these automations. And every time you have to break it to meet their needs, that costs you money. Yeah. So be wary of anyone that wants special requests.
Troy, you just said automation and everybody went. We know, guys. We know you talk about automation all the time, but it's a game changer.
Exactly. That's the thing that lets you go from 1 sale a day to 10 sales a day.
Yes. 10 sales a day.
All right. Now, the last one we're going to talk about is personality. And this one is so important.
Yes.
Are they the type of personality that you're going to want to work with for the next few years or decades? If you can barely stand them after the first meeting, it doesn't matter how much money they're paying you, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be worth it. And Trevor, I mean, you've dealt with tons of clients over the years that we've what have we done with those ones?
We fire them. What? You fire them? Listen, when the phone rings, if the phone rings and immediately you're freaked out, you're like, oh crap, it's so-and-so calling me. You don't want that person as a client. And you know what? You don't need that person as a client. And again, guys, we understand for all of our bootstrappers, all of our people just getting started, we get it. You take everything, anything and everything. But once you get to a point where you have the luxury of being able to pick and choose who you do business with, trust me, it comes sooner than you realize.
Yes.
Do it. It is such a headache to work with these people. And now, it's funny because when I see my phone ring, I get all excited and I'm like, I love these people. They are awesome. Our clients are amazing people. And when we don't like someone or they don't like us or they're hard to work with, I mean, we've literally had people who we show them and they admit we are killing it for them, right? Our systems, our processes, all this stuff is crushing it for them. We can show them the amount of money they've made and they agree to it, right? They're like, yeah, totally. But yet it still isn't enough. Yet there could be something better and they don't even know. I mean, have you guys ever had this? Have you guys out there ever dealt with a client that's just never happy no matter what you do for them? It's so annoying. And so people that I spend all my time trying to prove to them that our systems and processes work, that what we're doing for them works, I eventually just get rid of them. And the funny thing is, Troy, when I try to get rid of people or I try to unsell people in the beginning, they fight harder to be my client.
Yes, absolutely.
And you want to know why? Because they've already been fired by probably 5 other companies out there. And they know that nobody's going to produce like we are. And they know that nobody's going to be putting up with them for very long. So they fight to either stay or they fight to get on with us. But I don't do it. I won't take it. My time, energy, and efforts is worth so much. I'm not going to have a meltdown. I'm not going to, lose sleep at night and pull my hair out. I've already got a balding spot back here. I don't want to bald any faster. So we just get rid of them. And that might sound crazy to some of you. And some of you go, yes, I do that all the time. But fire the clients. Don't be afraid to fire those clients that are hard on you, that make your life a living hell, to be honest.
Yeah. And you'll find if you sit down and you look at the clients that are the most headache that you have, they probably take up the majority of your time.
Yeah.
Right? So you're spending the majority of your time on people that are the your worst clients
Yes.
than you are on the ones that are great. So if you just get rid of the ones that are bad,
Yep.
you all of a sudden have all this additional free time to go out there and get new clients that are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we did that. We found out at one point we were looking, and this was years ago, but we had to learn all the stuff that we talked to you guys about, right?
Yep.
So once we were looking at it, we were like, man, you know what? These clients are so hard. And we were looking at them and we were like, they take up 90% of our time. And the funny thing about them was they had all wanted discounts. They had all wanted this. They had all wanted that. They had made our lives suck. And they took up 90% of our time, but paid less than 10% of our total revenue.
Yeah.
Right. And so all of these other customers who were amazing and wonderful people and just, we loved them. Every time the phone rang, we loved talking to them, because if you're one of my clients, you're sitting there nodding your head. You know we love you. We know that we love talking to you and helping you. And that's what really brings me joy. That's the reason we do what we do. We take our big business knowledge and we want to go out there and help all the smaller guys out there succeed.
Yeah.
And, beat these bigger guys, go against their competition. It's the old David and Goliath, biblical story. I can't tell you how much joy it brings to me to help my Davids beat those Goliaths. So you know that. If you're my customer, you already know that. You are family. That's what you are part of the family. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much easy. You just get rid of the people you don't want to work with.
Exactly. And again, it's going to make your life so much better, and it's going to free up the time to find the right clients. Yeah. So again, if you take what we've talked about today, these steps, and you implement those into your business, you're going to be able to weed out those bad ones.
Yep.
Right up front, and not waste your time there, and you're going to be able to have more time to find the good ones. So what's the homework, Trevor?
Okay, so the homework is to look at your business and figure out a way that you can pre-qualify the people that are coming in. How can you sit down and have a consultation with them? That's where we weed a lot of people out. As they come in, they meet with us, or we fly to them and we meet with them and we weed them out. We say, like, look, we go through these same qualifiers, right? We go through pricing, we go through interest, we go through how quickly do they want to move forward? Are they asking for specials right off the bat? Are they making promises that I already know from 20 plus years of experience that they're not going to fulfill on, right?
Yep.
So we know in our guts, we know what is really going to happen in our business. You guys know your business really well. So how can you have a consultation with these people, a phone call, a Zoom call? What questions should you ask, maybe specific to your industry? I mean, I think these are pretty universal.
Yeah.
But there might be things that are specific to your industry that you could be asking to qualify these people, or say, no way, these are not people that I want to even, do business with. And so look at it this week, figure out at least one or two things that you can do to start weeding out the ones that are hard, and maybe even weeding out the ones that are existing clients that are hard.
Yep.
You'd never be afraid to say, you know what, I think that it would be better if you would be happier with someone else.
Yes.
I have no problem. You would be happier with someone else. And if they keep pushing, I say, guess what? I would be happier working with somebody else. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this week's episode of SoTellUs Time. We love you. We are so excited about being with you every week. Do your homework this week, and we will see you guys next week on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.